So, in this video, we'll continue to talk about my proposal to use a lot of resistant starch. And this is, I call, a resistant starch revolution as a solution for seniors to live longer and healthier life. As always, I recommend you to download the presentation as PDF file from the link in the description so you can get access to the source of information and maybe you understand better my proposal. So let's go. In elderly adults, several factors contribute to impaired protein digestion. It is reduced stomach acid production, and low levels of stomach acid hinders the initial breakdown of proteins into small peptides. Decreased production of digestive enzymes, this is the second what happens, needed to protein breakdown in the small intestine. Slow gut motility, peristalsis in the colon can lead to food remaining in the digestive tract for longer, affecting microbiota production and absorption of toxins and secondary bile acids into the bloodstream. Changes in the gut microbiome, it is actually the same what I'm talking. Age-related shift to the gut microbiome to domination of pathogenic microbes can lead to gut inflammation, leaky gut, and autoimmune reactions. Partial replacement of protein in foods by amino acids may be beneficial in older age. This is what I am talking. It is again, so it is. I knew it long ago, but I didn't pay much attention because that proteins are not digested even in younger age. So below 50, about 50% of protein is not digested and get into the colon. Even breastfed babies have this problem. Okay, so this, I believe, the core reason of the aging, accumulation of toxins in our bodies. And toxins are produced in the colon. So in my previous video, you can click on the link and presentation. I propose to include the intake of resistant starch type 2, amino acids, ascorbic acid, and salts of these acids into a diet for elderly people. Resistant starch type 2 is found in raw unprocessed potato and tapioca-cassava starches. The average percentage of resistant starch type 2 in dry raw tapioca-cassava starch is about 75%, and in dry raw potato starch it is in a range from 60 to 80%. Cereal starches are less resistant to the enzymatic activity of amylases, so don't use it. Don't use them, and no rice, no corn starches. So they are not resistant to activity of amylases, the enzyme responsible for breaking down starch molecules to glucose. The resistance to digestion in the small intestine has been attributed to the large sizes of the granules and a crystalline structure of resistant starch type 2, hence the limited area of the availability to enzymes. In the large intestine, resistant starch type 2 is fermented by the friendly bacteria. Products of its fermentation include gases, vitamins B, and short-chain fatty acids. Okay, so again, you can find information on internet, but I also was doing a long time ago a video on it. So there are 4 types of resistant starch, and we are talking about resistant starch type 2, because this is the most common and easy to buy and to get starch. Blending raw tapioca starch and raw potato starch or raw potato starch with weak organic acids like citric acid and ascorbic acid can reduce the amount of digestible starch. So it will improve the quality of the starch for digestion. This is because the acids can modify the starch surface structure, causing partial hydrogen bond breakage, substituting with ester bonds and making it less accessible to digestive enzymes. Malic acid and citric acid were the most effective for increasing a portion of resistant starch type 2 in foods. These ester bonds can cross-link the starch chains, making the starch granules more compact and less susceptible to breakdown by enzymes. Weak organic acids like citric, malic, ascorbic, and lactic acids can also inhibit starch digestion in the small intestine by altering the pH to below 6 to make it acidic in the environment, which decreases the activity of amylase. So to digest starch, you need alkaline environment, and then if you have acidic environment, then it is the activity of amylase is reduced. So this is how resistant starches are produced. They can be produced even from cornstarch by action of citric acid, but again, I don't recommend it because it is more expensive. And okay, resistant tapioca starch and resistant potato starch can form a viscous gel-like consistency when mixed with water at higher concentrations. And this thicker environment could slow down the diffusion rate of amylase to granules of starch and further reduce digestibility. Intake of ascorbic acid and amino acids in large doses can irritate the gastric tract. Okay, this is a problem, leading to gastrointestinal discomfort. This is already well known, especially ascorbic acid if you take a lot. If amino acids and ascorbic acid are taken simultaneously with raw tapioca starch or raw potato starch and water, increased viscosity can physically entrap acid molecules within the gel matrix, delaying the release for absorption by the epithelium layer in the small intestine. Soluble fibers and gums can further increase the viscosity of the gut contents. I didn't try it, but yeah, in principle, it also may help. High viscosity may also influence the overall time through the small intestine, potentially leading to reduced absorption over longer time intervals. So it is, again, you see, it is if you combine with the starch, the absorption of these vitamins, vitamin C or vitamin B3, for example, also, and amino acids will go slowly without high peaks in the blood, and it is also will not irritate the gastric tract. So this is how hydrogels can be formed. Okay, that's we have starch, which is, again, it is non-ionic hydrogen bonds, and it can produce gel-like substance. Rapid absorption of large amounts of amino acids, such as branched-chain amino acids and glutamine, can sometimes lead to transient increases in ammonia levels. This is, again, ammonia is toxic, and it can be produced in gut, and can be produced in your body too, so it's all toxic stuff. A slower, more sustained release of amino acids into the bloodstream could potentially improve the utilization for protein synthesis and reduce rapid spikes of the amino acids level in the blood, which might be less efficiently used and may have side effects. Free amino acids are less likely to be directly bound by the starch matrix compared to fats. Okay, so yeah, actually, yes, you can add some fats, maybe it will also help. I didn't try it, but okay, in principle, there is some area of research. The amount of non-digested resistant starch passing to the large bowl, to the colon, may be increased by reaction of fatty acids released from lipids under the influence of lipase in the thin intestine. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. If you simultaneously will drink some coconut oil or MCT oil, maybe it will even better. I eat butter in the morning, so but so I don't know. At least it is anyway. It is helpful to stay in ketosis. Okay, let's go. Resistant starch type 2 passes into the large intestine, where it is fermented by gut bacteria, producing short-chain fatty acids. Intake of resistant starch type 2 shortens colonic transit time and suppresses pathogens. This is what the advantage of this resistant starch. Taken in large amounts, raw tapioca starch and raw potato starch increase the volume of feces and reduce absorption of toxins and secondary bile acids into the bloodstream from the colon, contributing to the body detoxification. Again, if we accept that we are aging because of accumulation of toxins in our body, and these toxins are produced mostly in the colon when this protein is rotting, and pathogens produce toxins, so then it is very good. So and also the secondary bile acids, they are not they normally get to the bloodstream, but if we will combine with resistant starch type 2, then less bile acids will be secondary bile acids will go to the bloodstream, and it helps detoxification. It will reduce also your bad cholesterol in the blood, so it is all beneficial. I was talking about this. As I discussed in my video and presentation, you can click on it. Nicotinic acid, or so-called niacin, in large doses has been shown to increase the bile production and excretion of toxins. Again, this is in difference from people propose use this niacin, and they call it, they use niacinamide, which is vitamin B3, and other forms of vitamin 3 more expensive. I'm not taking nicotinic acid to increase metabolic rate, but it also works like this. But mostly nicotinic acid is necessary to increase production and excretion of toxins. Bile can bind to the fat-soluble toxins and facilitate the excretion through the digestive tract. This is how it works. High doses of niacin may cause side effects, including skin flushing and liver toxicity, leading to, in severe cases, to liver damage. This is very well known, and some people actually die after taking mega doses of niacin without betaine, without preparation, and so it is quite dangerous. So you cannot take mega doses like few grams of niacin at once without slow increase of intake of the niacin. So the intake of niacin in large doses, on mega doses, simultaneously with resistant tapioca starch, resistant potato starch, betaine, vitamin C, or ascorbic acid, and amino acid may reduce the side effects. It is true. So ascorbic acid itself reduces this flushing effect of the niacin, but if you combine it with resistant starch, it is even better. It is making it longer, smooth, and again, it is much more beneficial to combine with starch. So this is how niacin is blocking. Again, the action of niacin, I was discussing, it is actually blocking this production of free fatty acids from a deposit tissue for a while, about 3 hours. But then it is this ketosis is increasing, so it is very beneficial, but it also increasing the production of bile acids and reduce bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol, it is low density lipoprotein. It is important to follow ketogenic diet and stay in ketosis to get the maximum benefits from the intake of the proposed blend of supplements and resistant starch. People following a ketogenic diet need to consume more sodium than those on standard high carbohydrate diet. A ketogenic diet very low in carbohydrates, so this is a definition, and of the ketogenic diet leads to low levels of insulin, a hormone that helps kidney to retain sodium. With less insulin in the blood, kidney excrete more sodium with urine. Also, metabolic changes in the ketosis can lead to increased water loss, and more sodium is excreted along with urine. So burning of fat producing more water than burning of carbohydrates. So this is why we mostly produce more water and more sodium is lost with urine. Monosodium glutamate is a source of sodium and glutamate. Glutamate play a crucial role in overall health as it is involved in energy production and protein synthesis and ammonia detoxification. This is again, somehow medical professionals recommend to reduce consumption of glutamate. It is absolutely not absolutely wrong. I will talk about this later in other videos. But again, glutamic acid is very beneficial for health, very. And the monosodium glutamate is very cheap and easy to buy. So it is also beneficial to take monosodium glutamate just before bedtime because it acts as a precursor for the inhibitory neurotransmitter GABA, so you sleep better, and I see it. Maybe during the day taking monosodium glutamate may slow you down, and but again, it is you have to decide. Monosodium glutamate taken in the evening or before bedtime is the best. So you have to consume more sodium as it is recommended, and monosodium glutamate is the best. The demand for energy during exercise leads to increased production of ammonia within muscle cells. This is again well known. And when glutamic acid, glutamate reacts with ammonia in muscle, it converts to glutamine. And glutamine is amino acids, and it transports ammonia to the liver. In the liver, the liver processes glutamine to extract ammonia and convert it to urea, a less toxic waste product. And storage of glutamic acid, glutamate, in muscle and the colon can lead to ammonia being released in the bloodstream. Pardon. Shortage. I read and I didn't get it myself. So the shortage of glutamic acid, muscle and colon will lead to ammonia being released into the bloodstream. So you have to stop it. Okay, this is why it is necessary to consume monosodium glutamate together with protein foods. Okay, you can see my video, and again for details. And partial replacement of table salt by monosodium glutamate will reduce concentration of ammonia in the human body. This is again, ammonia is toxic. To replace 2.3 gram of sodium recommended by FDA, a man has to consume roughly 90 gram of monosodium glutamate, much more than recommended by medical professionals. Medical professionals recommend not more than 5 gram. This is 20 gram and even more, up to 40 gram actually, will not have no side effects. So all will go out with urine, no problem. So you will just drink more water. For a person following a ketogenic diet, the recommended sodium intake can be even larger, 5 gram and even more. So you replace half of the sodium with monosodium glutamate. It is only beneficial. Okay, so how it works. Glutamate or glutamic acid reacts with ammonia and producing glutamine. It is both in your gut and also in your muscles. And glutamine is transported to the liver, and with other enzymes, it is returns to glutamate and to ammonia. Ammonia is removed by liver and converted to urine, to uric acid and to urine. Okay, so you see that, and glutamate is actually by blood. It is transported to muscle and stored there. So glutamate is important to detoxicate your muscles and to feel more energy during the physical exercise. So monosodium glutamate nowadays is produced by fermentation, so it can be included into the diet of vegetarian diet, no problem. So again, it is cheap in Thailand. Monosodium glutamate I buy cheaper than $3 per kilo. Recently, I increased my intake of resistant tapioca starch from about 50 to more than 200 gram a day. I take raw tapioca starch in a few portions just before bedtime, together with ascorbic acid, niacin, lysine, taurine, valine, monosodium glutamate, glycine, and betaine. So quite a lot. But okay, it's, I just take it with water, no problem. I take raw tapioca starch with ascorbic acid, lysine, valine, and monosodium glutamate in the morning, about 5:30. And I don't eat any breakfast, but I drink a cup of hot chocolate or tea with milk, or maybe a cup of tea, and eat some butter with monosodium glutamate in the morning to keep my body in ketosis. I also take raw tapioca starch with ascorbic acid, lysine, monosodium glutamate, and advanced enzymes at about 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning, just again to stay in ketosis and to these advanced enzymes. You can see my video and presentation. I produce them themselves, and they help to clean my blood vessels. So it also not working not only for me, but for some of my clients. Raw tapioca starch suppresses appetite, and I eat only at dinner about 5 o'clock p.m. after my everyday exercise, which is normally lasts about 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and a half. And you see, again, this works for me like a miracle, I should say. Why? Because I lost appetite. I eat so much less than in compared to what I was eating before, with 50 grams of raw tapioca starch. Now I have no appetite. But even with reduced consumption of protein and fat, I am getting weight. I am getting more weight. So this is potato starch, and this monosodium glutamate and butter. Very beneficial for your health, very beneficial. Okay, so you can go to the source of information, make your own research, decide. I started to follow this procedure, this diet quite recently. I am quite amazed by the results. It is not so that I feel myself much younger, but again, loss of appetite, and even I have to reduce consumption of food even more. And considering the raw tapioca starch is about $1 American per kilo here, I'm saving a lot of money. I spend more money to feed my pets, dogs and cats, than for myself. So it's again quite astonishing. So simple, and this is what I'm trying to promote, the diet even for very poor people in developing countries. So it is as tapioca starch or potato starch is everywhere available and very cheap, and it can be included to any type of the diet. You can follow your normal diet or even American diet, but you will see how appetite will be reduced, how your health will be improved. So try again. There is no side effects from this increased amount of resistant starch in form of raw potato starch or raw tapioca starch. Okay, that's all what I was tried to tell you, and I continue a little bit to this research, and I will see what more benefits I will get from this diet. Okay, let's see. And please mind that I am not medical professional. It is not medical, not advice to follow. I just share my information. But again, even medical professionals, they claim that there is no side effects of a large amount of resistant starch consumed. No side effects at all for any diet. So, and I see that again, the only side effects, as I was explaining in previous presentation, it is like fluttering and yes, producing more gases, especially during exercise. So if you go to gym, maybe it is not good idea to take starch before the gym. But if you take starch before bedtime, nothing. It is only for help, and then you produce gases, but this gas is not stinking, and this this stinking odor in the gases produced. It is clear indication that that pathogens are not producing toxins. You are detoxing your body, so it is certainly will take quite a while to detox my body. But I see, and is again, if you will accept this idea that we are aging because of accumulation of toxins in our body, and then it leads to chronic inflammation, to accumulation of senescent cells altogether. It is a way to live much longer and healthier life. Thank you very much for this, and take care.